harmony, love, and the top psyche above. I'm Shula Selena Ghetto Prince Akeem, leader in my new me, here to help you transform into your new you. Now, what I want to say today, I want to talk about working on yourself in her absence and in her presence. Now, Shula, I get working on yourself in her absence, but in her presence, yes, work on yourself in her presence. Oftentimes, when we meet a woman that we really connect with, and we start to feel that connection building inside of us, to the point where we think, wow, this shit is amazing. I really like this person, or I really mess with her. I'm really feeling her vibe, and we connect so much. It's almost like a rush of excitement every time that me and her converse, right? Well, that is an amazing thing. And while that is an amazing thing, you still want to focus your attention onto yourself. Now, it doesn't mean don't give her any attention. It doesn't mean not to admire her. It doesn't mean any of these things. It doesn't mean not even to connect with her. What it means is, when we first meet people and we have that instant connection, we have that instant spark, and everything is starting to feel like something somewhat of a fantasy, and you might even get lost even for a moment, right? You have to bring yourself back down to earth, because the more and more that you're with this person, you want to allow her to have that continual connection where she's focusing on you. Now, if you both focus on yourself in the absence and present, that's fine. You give attention where you give attention. What I'm saying is this. Many times when we meet someone, we're constantly on our phones texting. We're constantly trying to see and meet up, and we don't allow them some space. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to just share a little insight on my younger days. When I was growing up, I used to get a lot of women. When I say get a lot of women, it didn't necessarily mean smash, but a lot of women used to become attracted to me. And this used to happen all in school. Like, I've always had beautiful women. I've had some ugly women try to talk to me. That's fine. Everybody got the right to shoot their shot, right? But what I noticed is, any woman that I would talk to, especially in the initial stage, if I ever gave her too much attention, if I ever seeked too much attention, it always backfired. If I ever always was trying to be around her, always was trying to talk to her, always was trying to be cool and seen as someone who she wants, it always backfired. I noticed that I was able to attract the most women and keep them at that level of attraction when I would just do me. Now, it doesn't mean that I was always, like, if they would come around, I was just trying to go back to Shula mode or just doing whatever I wanted to do. It just means that I wouldn't always give her attention. I wouldn't always make it into a pattern. And most likely the reason why I did is because I wasn't attracted. In the HEP days, a highly emotional pervert. When I was a highly emotional pervert, and I don't mean pervert as like looking, I just mean super emotional. I'm spewing up, like, it's just pervertish almost, because I used to be highly emotional over getting a woman, over does she like me and all this extra stuff. And why she's not responding to my text messages and all this extra stuff, right? I used to be like that, especially in middle school. So I found that wasn't working for me. I had to develop some form of self, because there was something that women were attracted to. And before I learned how to seduce, before I learned how to have good conversation, Before I learned how to bring up topics that can engage her emotion and imagination and leave her wanting more, I was a L7. I was a square. I can admit that. I can be vulnerable about that. I was definitely that. But I had to go through that as a young man to realize that there is light on the other side of that tunnel. There is a way out. And so I started chipping away at the rocks. I started moving towards that light. And what led me to move towards this was working on myself. Not giving so much attention to this woman, or these women, or these girls, or whoever. It's okay to have a nice connection. It's okay when you're with each other to have a fun engagement and really build upon that. But you should always have a reserve for yourself and reserve time for getting the things that you want to get done. And when it becomes a problem is when you are working on the things that you want to work on, but then also you neglect these things for her. So what I mean by that is, if you have things like friends that you want to hang out, you already made this in your mind. You already have it pretty much done on your schedule. If you have getting, whatever tasks you wanted to do, if you have family you had to chill with, if you have whatever the situation may be, right? It becomes a problem because, and I think for some reason women just could read this subconsciously. I don't know what it is. Look, my mother knew I was smoking before I was smoking. So if a woman can know that with the intuition that they have, trust and believe they can sniff out a nigga giving up something that they want to do just to chill with them, just to be around them, just to talk to them. Don't sacrifice yourself for nobody, man. Now, there are going to be times to where, of course, you have little occasions. Yeah, you might have something to do, but maybe you ain't seen her in a while. Maybe she's begging. Maybe she's calling. Maybe she wants you to come get it. You can make an exception from time to time. And this is not dependent upon Shula's rule. I'm saying for yourself, whatever works for you, because I don't want to ever be nobody's. I don't want to ever be no give dogma out to someone and say this is this and this is the law when it comes to how you talk and interact with other human beings. But for me, I noticed that sometimes you can make an exception. You don't want to be this hard, stern person who's just business, work. Then you'll lose the connection. I don't even do it intentionally. I have women that I would talk to and they'll say the same thing. And don't let no woman fool you with this. Oh, I'm different. You ever heard of, oh, I'm different. And I love women. I love when women say that shit too, because it lets me know that they're not different. As soon as a woman says she's different, I know she's not that different. Now, she might be different in looks, personality, what she's got going for herself in her life. Proportions, body, whatever. But it's a hive mind out here. Men have a hive mind, women have a hive mind. A lot of the things that most women are attracted to, other women are attracted to. And a lot of times, women say the same things. This is why you can calculate this. This is why the more that you get, the more experience that you get. Because I believe in a goddess, right? I worship a goddess. And I believe the basis of life is experience, sharing, experiencing things, sharing wisdom and knowledge, showing and sharing love, and creating. So the more experience that you get, the more creative you're going to get, the more wisdom that you're going to gain, and the more love that you're going to have for it. For me, I'm even getting to a point to where I'm beyond just having sex with women. Now, don't get me wrong. That for some reason that turned a lot of women on. They still it make me want to have sex with them, or make them want to have sex with me, and it makes them want me even more. But I'm getting to a point as I get older to where it ain't even about slaying as many women as I can. For me, it's about building a genuine connection with the woman that's going to understand me and be able to work with my program. Because, and I'm not tooting my own horn here, so women, don't get on me for this, but I'm being honest. And any woman who knows me in my personal life knows this. I got so much stuff I got going on that I have to achieve in this lifetime. A lot of men, like I said, because they don't have any purpose, they don't have any drive, no any tenacity, real structure behind what they do. A lot of men aren't as busy as I am. And it doesn't mean busy is in the form of doing, because sometimes I am very chill. I might go to a lounge for 2, 3, 4 hours. But mentally, even when I'm there at the lounge, I'm doing something on my laptop. And mentally, I'm always thinking about ways to look out for my people, look out for myself, get better at seduction, and develop these things. Right now, I'm working on a spiritual society. I already have it, Manumi, Harmony. And on top of that comes language. On top of that comes structure. On top of that comes dynamics. I'm working on YouTube. I'm working on all these different things. Work, hypnotherapy. Who would I be to neglect all these things that I'm doing for myself for a woman or for anybody? On top of all the things that I'm doing, I got family that I still love and are still alive, that I still interact with. And Lord is forbid that anything can happen to anybody at any time. So you want to cherish these moments with your family. Who would I be to give it to some woman who could leave, who could go, who I don't even really know like that? That's how we have to think as men and as women. So this goes both ways. I know I gotta say this every time because I don't want women to feel like I'm just talking about them. This is a unisex thing. This goes for any individual. So you can apply this as a woman. But like I said, my channel is geared towards men. So anyway, you want to make sure that you I know I see a lot of red pill people say focus on your goals and your passions, forget these women. When I was in a relationship, a lot of times this is what happens to men. Especially in our younger years. A lot of times what happens is when we meet a woman, everything that we were doing before gets diminished, or we just quit doing it. Nah, you got to continue to do it. A lot of times we give up things for a woman or try to build with her on her things. Nah. Continue to work on you. Continue to work on your aspiration. If you don't have no passions, you don't have no goals, you don't have no dreams, you don't have no spirituality, work on something. Do something that makes you unique and something that you can develop a love for. Something that you can really go after. Even if it's something that you can just fall back on in case your other dreams don't work. And give that the time and energy. Don't constantly be texting her when you know you're supposed to be getting stuff done. Don't constantly be on the phone with her when you know that you're supposed to be working on your passions and goals. And you had a schedule and routine going. Because you will ultimately lose that. You'll ultimately have it backfire on you. So you have to work on yourself in her absence and in her presence. So in her presence, while y'all connecting, and this is more so for the people who are in relationships. You know, when you're with the woman and you find yourself spending so much time with your girl. You know, you give like, for example, I would say I like to keep the rule now of like 65 to 70% or 60 to 70% of me time doing what I do, working with myself, working on my passions, my goals, seeing my family, whatever the hell I'm doing. And then I would say anywhere between 35 and 40% talking to that woman, dealing with that woman, building with her. If you find yourself giving her so much energy more than you give your own self, she's bound to leave, brother. She's bound to leave. It's in her nature. It's like for me, I love when a woman is clingy. I love when a woman show me attention. I love it. I love when a woman can try to validate herself to me. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I see it as very feminine. And even, sometimes as a man, you can validate. I don't think you should look for validation or seek validation. But if you know you him, you can showcase yourself a little bit. If you know you a trophy, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm doing everything, neglecting what I have going on to hang around and be around her. Nah. No. Not at all. Right? So you want to work on your goals. Now, it's like I said, inside her presence, even if y'all chilling or whatever, when at the times and the moments that y'all not doing something. So for example, an example would be if I've just finished having sex with a woman. Y'all know that feeling after sex, you might feel drained or whatever. Or just a lot of energy gone. If you ain't about to fall asleep, figure out something that you're gonna do. Work on yourself. Work, even if you chilling, y'all just laying in the bed. Work on yourself. Get up, go do something. I don't care. Listen, I don't care if I'm drained. If I got something I'm gonna do and I got a schedule, I'm gonna go do it. That's just it. I'm gonna get it done. Now, like I said, there are exceptions to the rules. There are certain occasions, but for the most part, work on yourself because she'll appreciate it. But we're not worried about that. You'll appreciate it. And it'll show you have discipline. And that you don't put her above the things you got going on. Because like I said, your passions and your goals and your motivations and your aims in life will always be there with you. Whether you neglect them, whether you forget about them, whether you develop new ones, whether you update them, that woman is no guarantee. And even then, if you want to talk about death, she won't be there with you forever. But as long as you're alive, you got the things that you are going to be working on, your aspirations and your aims. So make sure that you keep a fine balance. Just to sum it up, keep a fine balance. I would say about 60 to 70 working on yourself and your goals and aspirations, and about 30 to 40 to her and her attention. And this doesn't matter. It don't matter if y'all get married. It don't matter if you go to a secluded island and it's just you and her. Go off into the forest by yourself. Let her wander. And then come back when it's time to engage in interaction, connection, bond. And with that being said, this is the video on basically the video on working on yourself in her absence and in her presence. So harmony, love, and the top psyche above. Shula Celine, the Ghetto Prince Hakeem, leader of my new me. Here to help you transform into your new you.